Mr. Robert, თქვენი მეთოდი არის ძალიან პოპულარული მთელ მსოფლიოში. თქვენი განსაკუთრებული მეთოდი ამშვიდებს ბავშვებს უნიკალური შესაძლებლობით. როგორ მიხვედით ამ მეთოდამდე და როგორ მუშაობს ის ნამდვილად?
Well, I think that the method, well, first of all, I want to say thank you. It is a pleasure to be on TV here in Tbilisi, Georgia. You have a beautiful country. I have been in that area, but never to Georgia, but I look forward to coming to Tbilisi. But anyway, I believe that my method works because when you hold the baby, you're swaddling their arms together, and you're rocking them up and down, and I think that reminds them of being inside of their mother. And as a result of that, they calm down.
არის ამ მეთოდის უკან მეცნიერება, უბრალოდ თუ ეს უბრალოდ თქვენი მიგნებაა, ესე ვთქვათ, რომელსაც წლების განმავლობაში აკვირდებოდით.
Well, there is a thing called the calming center, and I think what you do is you essentially, for all children, you know, when you're trying to comfort them, what do mothers do? Well, they rock them back and forth, they jiggle them, they hold them to them, and I think that the science is that it is has a calming effect on the baby.
რომელ ასაკშია ეს ტექნიკა ყველაზე სასარგებლო და ყველაზე ესეთი აქტუალური?
I find that the technique is most useful between the time of birth and about 3 months of age. After that, the baby gets too heavy to hold, and it is difficult. They don't seem to calm down that well after 3 months of age.
და როგორ ფიქრობთ, მიაჩვევს თუ არა ეს მეთოდი ბავშვს, რომ მოუნდეს სულ დედის ხელში ყოფნა, ან მშობლების ხელში ყოფნა?
I think that, remember that we're talking about the first 3 months of age. And in this situation, I think that it is perfectly fine for babies to be in their mother's arms. In fact, they should be in their mother's arms. So I'm not worried about the babies always wanting to be in their mother's arms. Ultimately, the parents, as the baby gets older and they grow, the parents will put them down. The babies will be happy to be down, and I don't worry about that being a problem.
რა არის ხოლმე ის ძირითადი მიზეზი, რის გამოც ბავშვები ტირიან?
The reason why babies cry are many. Babies cry because they're hungry. Sometimes they're dirty. They need to have a diaper change. They're sometimes cold or too warm, or they're bored, or sometimes babies are not feeling well. They're sick, and so that would make a baby cry too. So there are a number of different things that when a baby begins to cry, a mother will naturally do this. They'll go through what I call a checklist of possible reasons why that baby cries. And sometimes you can't figure out why they cry.
და მაინც როგორ შეიძლება რომ მივხვდეთ რა აწუხებს პატარას და რის გამო ტირის ის?
Well, you look and make sure that they don't have to have their diaper changed. You make sure that they're not too bundled up too warm or too cold, or anything is poking them, or they're in an uncomfortable position. So a mother will naturally do this. So they'll look over their baby and think through, why is this baby crying? Clearly, if the baby feels warm and has a fever, is vomiting or coughing or not happy, then you have to.
და რა ძირითად შეცდომებს უშვებენ მშობლები, როდესაც უყურებენ მოტირალ ბავშვს?
I think the main mistakes that they make is that they don't really they're afraid to comfort the baby. I think that the thing that sometimes children want to have is they want to have their mother to hold them. And I think that parents do worry about spoiling their children, and so they're afraid to really comfort them and take care of them. So I would say that the main mistake would be that they don't attend to their children when they're crying.
და ზოგი პედიატრი ამბობს, რომ ტირილი სასარგებლოა გარკვეული მიზნებისთვის.
I think the babies they do cry a lot. I'm not sure if it's healthy or not. I think that babies at times there's nothing you can do to calm a baby, and crying is like going out for a good jog. If you go out and run for a mile or two, you actually sometimes feel better, and that is, I think, beneficial to a baby too. But we're talking about young babies. We're talking about a baby, 0 to 3 months of age. And in that age category, I don't think you want babies crying indefinitely.
რა შეგიძლიათ კიდევ გითხრათ თქვენი მეთოდის შესახებ, როგორ მიხვედით და როდის აღმოაჩინეთ ეს მეთოდი?
Well, I found out about the method by being a pediatrician for 30 years, over 30 years. And I think that after I've held many, many babies, taken care of many babies, I'm also a father of 6 children, and I'm a grandfather of 7 grandchildren. So I have many, many babies in my life. That being said, over the years, I found that by just gently holding them, wrapping their arms, rocking them up and down at a 45-degree angle really did calm the baby down. And as a result of that, I began to employ it. I began to use it in my daily care of children.
And do the tips are for this method? Should parents know the tips how to hold the child for your method, like not too hard to the baby?
Yes, it is. I mean, if you look at the video, you'll see that you have probably the most important thing you can do is really fold the 2 arms in front of the baby. And by doing that, you restrict their tendency to, they have a reflex called the Moro, M-O-R-O, Moro reflex. And when they do that, or the startle reflex, they begin to cry. And I think by holding the arms in front of them, you really restrict that startle reflex, and that calms the baby down.
How long can we take the baby like that?
How long can you? It depends on the baby, but usually it could go on for many, 10, 15, 20 minutes. I normally recommend, Nanuka, that really this should be used by the fathers more than the mothers. The mothers can breastfeed the baby, but fathers don't have that ability to do that. So this is really a technique which I think is more applicable to fathers rather than mothers.
და თქვენ გაქვთ 30 წლიანი გამოცდილება ბავშვებთან ურთიერთობაში, ხართ ერთგვარი თარჯიმანი ბავშვებსა და მშობლებს შორის. რა შეგიძლიათ უთხრათ მათ, რა სურთ ბავშვებს?
That's a very good question, and I sometimes wonder. I think that what babies really, when you look at, as a parent, you look at your baby and you love your baby more than anything. And I think that babies look back at their parents and they love their parents as much as we love them. And I think that what they want to say more than anything is, I love you, Mommy, I love you, Daddy, and thank you for taking care of me.
Thank you, Mr. Robert. It was a pleasure to connect with you and have an interview with you. So thank you one more time.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate it. Good luck to all of you there in Georgia. I look forward to the day I can visit you there.
We will host you with a great pleasure. So thank you one more time. Bye. 30 მილიონი ნახვა და უამრავი ბედნიერი მშობელი, რომელმაც შეძლო რომ საკუთარი ბავშვი დაემშვიდობინა რობერტ ჰამილტონის უნიკალური მეთოდის წყალობით, რომელიც მან შეიმუშავა 30 წლის სამუშაო გამოცდილების შემდეგ. გვისმინეთ ტალღაზე FM 90.8 გადაცემაში FM პედიატრი ჩვენ ვმასპინძლობთ თვეში ერთხელ ცნობილ პედიატრებს, რომლებიც მსოფლიოს ნებისმიერი კუთხიდან გვიზიარებენ საკუთარ გამოცდილებას ბავშვებთან ურთიერთობაში.